But let's look at the objectives of RERA. RERA has been around for about 10 years now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for having us at studio. The objectives of RERA have been threefold. One, to build capacity amongst regulators. Two, to ensure the harmonization of policies, legislation, and regulatory practices in SADC. And lastly, to ensure that we provide a platform for effective regulatory cooperation in the region.
Now let's talk about regional integration in terms of electricity supply and how the different countries within the region can actually work together. How far are we with regards to that?
We have moved quite a bit of the way down the track. We have the South African power pool that coordinates the utilities, that looks at the technical aspects of regional integration. And RERA looks at the regulatory and legal type of regulatory integration issues. And in that respect, RERA has developed a number of principles and model documents. And particularly of key importance is what we call the guidelines for cross-border trade.
And if we look at electricity supply and demand in the SADC region, where are we right now? If you look at the situation, have we improved over the last 10 years? We have improved in a way, in the sense that more people have had access granted to the service. However, the challenge is that supply is now not matching the demand that's been created by that type of access, plus economic growth. And let's look at, in terms of renewable energy here in South Africa, we had that financial close for the independent power producers. We had the signing of the deals today between the government and the independent power producers earlier today. So how can renewable energy help to alleviate some of the pressures that we see coming through for electricity demand in the SADC region?
Renewables provide a wonderful opportunity for SADC countries to be able to augment their supply, utilizing environmentally friendly primary sources of energy. So it's something that as RERA we would promote. And in fact, we have started equipping regulators by providing training courses on how to deal with renewable energies. And we can only commend what South Africa has achieved, and would like to see multiple-fold increase in the use of renewables as primary energy sources.
And that also speaks to the private sector participation. What kind of private sector participation are you seeing within the electricity space within the SADC region, excluding South Africa? Private sector participation in Africa has not, in SADC, has not reached the levels that we have anticipated. However, we have noticed an interesting steady growth in IPPs, both stemming from privatization efforts by various governments and just pure plain private sector players deciding to come into the space. So we have seen some in Zambia, in Kenya, and of course South Africa will come through now with the renewable energies. So we've seen quite some progress within the 10 years that RERA has been around. Now looking to the next 10 years, what can we possibly see coming through from the organization?
Whilst we'll stay true to our original vision of regional regulatory cooperation and capacity building, two key transitions should characterize the next 10 years. So as an association, we would like to transition from being an association of electricity regulators to energy regulators. A number of our members have become energy regulators, having started out as electricity regulators. The second transition will be from existing as an association, a voluntary association, to becoming a regional regulator. And the advantages in us becoming a regional regulator is that it will increase confidence in regional integration and regulating the technical integration at a transmission level.